Welcome back to chapter 6. In this chapter you're going to learn how to put the side seams together and to finish the hem here. And I'm going to show you how to do some understitching, which gives you a really great neat finish here. Nothing will roll out and it will look very, very professional. And I'm going to demonstrate that on this little jacket here. The first step is to close the hem here. And we're just going to do the usual burrito method. Well, actually, look, we're just popping that over, casing it in, and then we're going to sew from one end to the other. So simple. Lock in your stitches at the beginning and then sew along. Line up your fabric edge always with that 1 centimeter seam allowance mark that you've got on your needle plate. Now we're going to do something called understitching, and you do it while you're on the sewing machine. You don't take it back, you don't press it. What you do is you place it in front of you like this. You've got the lining on one side and you've got the upper material on the other side. And then you fold your seam allowance here into the lining. And then we're going to sew close to the edge all the way across. Make sure your seam allowance is folded that way. At the end you want to lock in your stitches, and that's it. Understitching done. Now let's have a look at this magical understitching here. You can see the stitching line on here. Have a look there. But when you turn it over, you don't see it on the outer side, only on the side of the lining. And when we're now going to press this, can you see that little ridge that we're getting? And that means the ironing is going to be super, super easy. Now I'm just going to turn it to the right side again and give this a quick press. Pull the lot over your sleeve ironing board. I say myself, that's beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. I feel like we're the A-team of sewing. Turn it inside out and put your side seams on top of each other. So you want to pin that together as well. Move over to the other side and sew those together too. And because we have the armholes open, we have our method of turning it. Or right, so we're ready to sew really down both sides. Just want to show you what it looks like so you get an idea what you're doing. Sometimes you just go through these steps and you think, well, I don't understand why I'm doing them. So let's just have a little look why you're doing them. This is why. Because when this is sewn together, here comes a jacket. So when that's sewn together on both sides, that's it. Our jacket is basically done, right? Ooh, so nice. Right, let's turn it back inside out, pop on back over to the sewing machine and do those little side seams. Right, let's go. Pop your fabric under, line it up with a 1 centimeter as per usual on the needle plate, lock in your stitches, and then line up the edges, go all the way down. Lock in the stitches at the end, And that's it. Just do the same on the other side. We know what to do. Iron the seam flat first, as per usual, and we just have to go in through the armhole. Now this is the smallest size there is, so it's kind of hard to get over, but the bigger the sizes, the easier that of course will get. I'm just going to have to come in from one side to iron my seam apart, and then I'm going to do it from the other side as well. There we go. Then one more step here is to cut back your seam allowances. That's also very important. We don't want this to be thick. We want it to be very thin and light, and also give it a snip just here. Sometimes you get a little bit of tension in here, and you can tell, can't you? If you push this, you can see how this has tension, and now it can split apart again. I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Not all the way to the seam, just a little bit. Oh, see, nice and flat. Turn this all to the other side, and then we're going to press it again, and this time we're going to put our seam allowances on top of each other. So I'll find my seam here, and I go in, put my thumb here so nothing can turn over on my finger. Get my ironing board back. Pop it over the edge, make sure none of my seams is folded over. And there we go. Good press, put it down. Beautiful. What a nice finish. We're also going to iron the hem here, and where I've understitched, I didn't do it in the front because obviously when it's all folded to the outside we don't want to see the understitching, so I just left it there. When you roll this, you will see that you don't even need to like do any of this rolling motion that you had to do here. You can just simply put your iron on and press it. It gives you a really defined edge, very professional looking, and that's what we want at the end of the day. You are on this course because you want to learn how to sew like a professional. So let's put this here and go. That is very nice, because we have now come to the end of this chapter. And now we're moving on to chapter 7, where we're going to put in the sleeves.